Good morning and welcome to Business 325. I hope you guys are doing well and you're continuing to observe the social distance. So this is kind of like a touching base session. I will provide some hints on the latest assignment, and also if you don't mind, please let me know if there's some things that we need to improve on this class, if there's some things that we are doing well, if there's some things that we need to stop doing. You're welcome to do that, and there will be no penalties for that. You can text me, you can email, or you can just put them on the discussion board. Because usually what happens is students will wait until the end of the semester to go ahead and post their comments through the faculty evaluation. And sometimes by that time it's too late for anything to be done to help improve your learning experience. So if you don't mind, if you can let me know what we can do to make your learning experience better, that will be good. A few of you had some difficulties with the research paper, the midterm research paper, and I did put comments when I was grading, so go back and check those comments. And if I said get in touch with me, please make sure you do that because the midterm paper is going to be part of your final paper. So you need to make sure that you smoothen things out and you make some of those changes that I suggested. We are now right into week 10 and we have some suggested readings right here, and some of these are actually very nice. We're talking about the business continuity planning, which is a very important undertaking for any business to make sure that we are taking care of unforeseen events in the future. The business continuity plan voice thread, you got some instructions here, and you are required to pick a business. So let's briefly go through this. Enable editing. So you'll pick a company or an organization and then go ahead and read and report on how you think they carried out that and how they were able to be successful or not successful. So there's a lot of information on the internet about how to go about looking for this information, because it told using the internet, business magazines and all that, find a company that has implemented one. So I'll kind of walk you through some of the techniques that you can use to find this information. And I know some of you already know how to do this, but just to provide some more insights, I will do that for you. So basically, one of the ways that you can do is you can, of course, open a new page, and I'm going to do a duplicate here. So I was doing this a little bit earlier to prepare for this class, and you might be able to see some of the things that I was doing here. And you can just start with pure Google. So start with, I prefer using Google, and I know some of you have other different search engines. So just Google. I'll come back to Scholar. And so Google, and you can just type business continuity plan or planning, and it's going to give you a lot of information about all that. So we have some information on the government. So we were told to use magazines. So what you call industry magazines, these are the ones that usually are related with the CIS, and CIO is one of the most important industry magazines for the information system field. So it's for chief information officers, and this talks a little bit about how to go about creating a business plan. So you can read a little bit of that, how to create an effective business plan, and this is going to be probably talking about how to do it from an IT perspective. So they talk about the business continuity plan, outlines the procedures and instructions an organization must follow in the face of disaster, whether fire, flood, or cyber attack. This is actually an area where most of the companies are doing a lot because of ransomware and things like that. So here's how to create one that gives your business the best chance of surviving such an event. Because if you have a cyber attack and you don't have a plan of how you're going to proceed with your business, that can be very detrimental to your organization, especially if your company is publicly traded. If that information gets out there, that can be a problem. And that actually explains why most of the companies are not disclosing when they have ransomware. So very many companies are getting attacked, but they're not disclosing that information. So this kind of walks you through some of the things that you might have read in the chapter, and also some of the things that you might have watched on the video. So it talks about all that, some examples here, why is it important, how you go about doing that, all the way down. So it looks like a big document, but at least it's very, very informative. Also, you get some other information right here, like top 9 challenges IT leaders will face in 2020. We're already in 2020 actually. So some of the priorities for CIO in the 2020 and all the way down like that. So let's see, when was this article written, because it's always very important. So this was actually written all the way in 2017, 3 years. Some of the information here might still be relevant. So that's one of the way that you can get some information about business continuity planning from Industry Magazine. So IBM also, IBM.com, they have some information here. This is 2019. So if you click on that, it'll give you some information. Some of them is going to be the same. You can actually watch a video that might be a little bit better, and then you can see a little bit of evolution. I'm sorry. So we're trying to look some, or if they have some examples of how companies have actually been able to do that. So key features of an effective business continuity plan. So let's go down here and deeper into business continuity plan. So that's for that. And then we have one here. See how National Stock Exchange of India created their own business continuity plan to address disaster recovery. And then Hyundai Heavy Industry building confidence amid of chaos. So this is two good examples. So you can read this and they'll give you some specific examples of how some companies were actually able to create business continuity plans and how those plans worked. So that actually at least gives us two examples that we can use. So that's from IBM. You can come back here and remember I just googled business continuity plan from Google General. So I'm getting a lot of hits right here. So what else I can do is I can try to use another industry magazine, and that's what is called Information Week. So just do Information Week, and then you add business continuity plan or planning, and that anything with an advertisement I try to stay out of it because that has some bias in it, maybe because they're trying to advertise, of course. So I have one here, business continuity planning, the pandemic wake up call. So this is August 3rd, and let's see what they're talking about here. So when you open that, okay, that's what we have. So Information Week is actually a good industry magazine for a lot of up-to-date information on what's happening in the IT field. So they talk a little bit about what companies are doing here. And let's see, sometimes they'll give you some examples of companies that are doing that. So if you have some time, you can read this or just skim through it. And let's see, I don't see much of examples here, but at least you can get some of what's going on inside here. Okay, let's go back and see whether we can get some more information. Which one did we pick? Okay, how to ensure you have the right business continuity plan, June 30th. Industry Week is also another good magazine to look at. So we looked at the Information Week. Let's see what Industry Week has. So it's always good if you have at least an idea about the magazines in your field. Okay, so actually this gives you like some of the risk depending on where you are located, and any examples of companies that have implemented any. Okay, I don't see any example here. Boom, boom. Okay, let's go back again. Okay, not now. Okay, so another way that you can do this is you can go to Google Scholar, because you're asked to find either industry magazines or articles. So with Google Scholar, you can come in here and maybe type business continuity oh, not yet, plan. and you can say case studies. So case studies is articles that have actually been written and they are for specific organizations. So business continuity plan case studies, and let's see whether we can get any here. So this talks about how you can do that for supply chain management. So that might be an example right there. And what do we have here on continuity case studies? This is 2016. Now, if you don't see any information here, it means you might have some issues accessing that document. But if you log on to CUNY or SPS library database and then you search for items, you might actually be able to see them. So if you are interested in these two case studies from events, so this is actually a good 2015 though, but this is PDF. It means that you can access that document. So by clicking here, the file is going to open, downloading for you right here. And if you click on here, that file, let's see what is in here. It opens like that. And if you maximize it, so this is an original paper. Yep, so these are actually good case studies. So if you read these, you'll see exactly how they went ahead with implementing their case studies. And you don't have to read all of it. You can, it's actually a very short paper, maybe what, 9 pages? That's actually very good, not too bad. So that's an example of an article that you can use for, excuse me, for your VT. We have other ones down here. So try to see cyclic approach to business continuity planning and all the way like that. So business continuity plan case studies or planning case studies. So search using those kind of terms and hopefully you'll be able to get some good examples. So this is another one that I found. I think we already went through this. I had another one here from Inventor with different companies. We have one from, I think we already saw this, from Information Week, another one from Information Week 2, developing a continuity plan for the post-coronavirus world. So that also talks about how you can go about doing that. And CIO Magazine, do they have some specific examples here? And how CIOs in Southeast Asia are combating coronavirus through business continuity planning. So this is actually another good article, and this is February 10th, 2020. And they give examples, I think, of different companies and how they're doing that. So that's in Thailand, Hong Kong, Philippines, and they have like different companies. So you can go ahead and read a little bit about those companies and see how they are going about. So this has a lot of examples that you can actually use. So that's one of the techniques that you can actually use to help you in navigating the internet. So CIO Magazine, Information Week, Industry Week, CSO, Chief Security Officer, also those are good industry magazines that you can use. Wall Street Journal is also good, and you can go to the technology section. The same thing with New York Times, or you can just go straight to Google Scholar and find case studies or examples of business continuity planning case studies. And did I add planning? Case studies. Yeah, my computer is freezing for some reasons. I don't know why. So hopefully that gives you some insights that you can use to help you with this week's assignment and also for your future assignments. So keep an eye on the assignments and keep me posted. You can always post things through the discussion board, but I prefer if you want to get direct to me, the phone number is actually one of the best ways to do. So if you call and I don't pick up, just leave me a short text message and tell me who you are and the reason why you're calling, and I'll be able to get back to you in 2 or 3 hours, hopefully. So far so good. You guys be safe and please continue observing the social distance, washing your hands, and we hope this thing goes out soon or we get a vaccine. All the best.